And Yala, it's been quite a thrill ride for her this last year as well. I feel like last year at this event, it was a little bit of a coming out party where she had some great results coming from a wild card position as well. So I think the international interest in both of them is so high, and Miami being such a sort of a cultural melting pot with so many of the international. So much of the international flavor here. I think we're going to need them to be on center court because they have so many fans.
Miami Open Tournament director James Blake has made a powerful and decisive announcement that is grabbing attention across the tennis world. With the event approaching quickly, Blake confirmed that rising Filipino tennis star Alex Eala will compete on the biggest stage of the Miami Open, the legendary center court. The choice is not only about placing Eala on the main platform, but also about making the Miami Open the center of the tennis universe this year, attracting massive audiences and boosting ticket sales. Much of this excitement is driven by the explosive rise in Alex Eala's popularity. Blake explained that this moment had been building for some time. Last season there were still questions about how much interest Eala could generate since she entered the tournament as a wildcard, but this season everything has changed. Eala has now proven herself as one of the most talked-about players in tennis, with supporters around the globe closely watching her journey. Blake, known for his sharp insight, realized that the time had come not only to recognize Eala's expanding fan following, but also to place her at the heart of Miami's most famous court. He even admitted that he had rarely witnessed such enthusiasm and backing for a player so young. Reflecting on her meteoric progress, Blake said that when he first watched her last year they were uncertain about the level of influence she might have, but now it is obvious that Alex is not simply an emerging talent anymore, she has become a true tennis icon. Tennis racket and ball fire.
It is well beyond anything I could have dreamed of at that age.
James Blake was stunned by the overwhelming number of supporters coming to watch her matches, and he quickly realized the Miami Open needed to take advantage of this growing wave of excitement. Placing Eala on the tournament's biggest stage is not merely a promotional strategy, it is also an acknowledgement of her skill and the powerful bond she shares with her supporters. The Miami Open, known as one of the most respected competitions on both the ATP and WTA tours, has always attracted passionate tennis audiences. However, with Eala now at the heart of the spotlight, Blake believes the event is about to experience something extraordinary, an atmosphere and level of energy the tournament has not witnessed for many years. Tennis racket and ball fire.
Bit of a coming out party where she had some great results coming from a wild card position as well. So I think the international interest in both of them is so high, and Miami being such a sort of a cultural melting pot with so many of the international so much of the international flavor here. I think we're going to need them to be on.
Alex Eala's appeal has expanded far beyond traditional tennis audiences, and James Blake understands that Miami, a city celebrated for its diverse and multicultural community, provides the ideal stage for her to display her talent. Eala commands an enormous fan base not only in the Philippines but throughout the world. From dedicated supporters in Asia to growing groups of fans across Europe and North America, her rapid rise reflects the worldwide attraction of both her playing style and her personality. Admirers are willing to go to great lengths just to watch her compete, even standing in long ticket lines simply for a chance to see their favorite athlete. This remarkable level of dedication quickly captured the attention of Blake and the Miami Open organizers. Blake admitted that the previous year there had been uncertainty about how many spectators Eala could bring since she entered as a wildcard. However, after witnessing her breakout performances, it has become clear that her star power cannot be questioned. Blake even believes the Miami Open could set new revenue records this season because of the global spotlight Eala is drawing. The famous center court, normally reserved for the sport's most established names, will now host one of tennis's most thrilling young talents. Yet for Blake the decision goes beyond boosting ticket demand, it is also about presenting a competitor who could become the face of the sport for the next generation. Eala's discipline, persistence and modest character have earned admiration not only from fans but also from fellow professionals. Her ascent has been incredibly rapid, and the Miami Open is ready to push her even further into international prominence. Blake's move also comes at a moment when other tournaments, such as the Indian Wells Tennis Garden, are dealing with their own difficulties. Director Tommy Haas has reportedly struggled to maintain excitement after Eala's early departure from the event. The sudden drop in ticket demand has forced him to consider urgent solutions, including arranging exhibition matches involving Eala to bring spectators back. That situation highlights just how powerful Ayala's influence has become in tennis, while Blake is moving early to make sure the Miami Open remains the center of global tennis attention. Tennis racket and ball fire.
Used about all the fans, or I'd say lack thereof of all the fans in Stadium 2 while Rybakina was playing. As you can see from videos and pictures, if we were to say that there are hundreds of people watching this match, that would...
Brazilian fans, I mean, that's what you kind of want, you know, you want that new atmosphere. Same for Eala, having all the Philippine fans from coming, you know, to support her. It's
James Blake's decisive action also stands in sharp contrast to the WTA's controversial choice during the Australian Open, where Eala was relegated to smaller courts despite her rapidly growing fan base. That move left hundreds of thousands of supporters waiting in long lines for a chance to witness their favorite player, generating widespread frustration. The WTA's failure to acknowledge Ayala's popularity only intensified her appeal, as fans became even more determined to follow her journey. What might have been seen as a setback instead became a rallying point, strengthening her bond with supporters and elevating her presence in the tennis world. By the time the 2026 Indian Wells tournament arrived, Ayala's influence was impossible to ignore. During her debut match, ticket demand soared to unprecedented levels, with prices reaching extraordinary heights. In fact, sales from a single match totaled an astounding $5 million, a remarkable achievement for a player of her age. Ayala's meteoric rise demonstrates her immense impact on tennis, not only through her exceptional skill but also through the overwhelming passion and devotion of fans eager to witness her reach greatness.
Get the feedback from the fans and then look ahead in the future and determine if we're going to continue that way or if we maybe go back to the other way. So that's to be still to.
Even fellow competitors are astonished by Ayala's accomplishments. WTA star Jessica Pegula recounted her experience facing Eala at the Miami Open, describing the stadium atmosphere as electrifying. "I've never witnessed anything like it," Pegula said. No matter where she competes, the level of support for Alex is unmatched. The crowd doesn't just watch, they experience every point alongside her. This rare intensity of fan devotion plays a huge role in the meteoric pace of Ayala's success, amplifying her impact on the sport and setting her apart as a truly exceptional talent.
Too small of a court. We saw it here. You can hear it from the hotel. You can hear the crowd roaring, especially at night. So it's incredible.
James Blake understands that Ayala's popularity is far from a fleeting trend. She has become a global sensation, and the Miami Open is ready to leverage that momentum. Her ability to attract enormous crowds and create electrifying atmospheres wherever she competes is remarkable, and Blake is determined to ensure that the Miami Open remains at the center of it all. This isn't just a milestone for Eala, it's an opportunity for the tournament to establish itself as the stage where the next tennis superstar emerges. As the event kicks off, all eyes will be on Eala and her performance on the iconic center court. By placing her in the spotlight, Blake has set the stage for a Miami Open that could go down in history as the tournament where Alex Eala officially cemented herself as one of tennis's brightest rising stars. For Blake, the decision goes beyond accommodating her growing fan base. It is about acknowledging the scale of her achievements and showcasing them on the sport's grandest platform. The excitement surrounding Eala is just beginning, and with the Miami Open embracing her as its centerpiece, this year's tournament is destined to be historic. Blake's bold move ensures Miami stays at the forefront of global tennis, while Ayala's story is only getting started. What are your thoughts on this decision? Does putting Eala on the biggest court feel like a brilliant strategy, or is it too much too soon? How do you see the contrast between Miami Open's proactive approach and the challenges other tournaments like Indian Wells face? Could this mark the dawn of a new era in tennis, or is it simply hype? Share your opinions below.